Welcome into an all-new NFL draft preview from the Sports Stove Draft Show on the Belly Up Sports Network and, of course, the Sports Stove Media, presented by Righteous Felon Jerky. And today we want to talk about wide receivers. We've got most of the offense covered in these episodes so far, and wide receiver is another one of those position groups that is absolutely stacked. I mean, we're talking stacked. I'm looking at about 6 to 7 potential first-round receivers, at least graded in the first round. I'd be a little surprised, not a little, I'd be a lot surprised if that many go in the first round. But we have a loaded class of wide receivers this year, and it's even kind of shifted a little bit from the beginning of the season to kind of where we are now. We're going to talk about some guys in a moment, guys that are not on this list. And I'm going to give you, what do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 receivers we're going to talk about right now. Not on this top 9 list. Antonio Williams from Clemson, who was preseason very high on our list. Jacoby Lane from USC. We're not going to talk about Eric Singleton from Auburn today. Evan Stewart from Oregon. Zachariah Branch from Georgia. Aaron Anderson from LSU, Nick Harbor from South Carolina, Nick Anderson from LSU, or DeAndre Moore from Texas. They're all good receivers. We're going to cover them at some point. But today we're talking about these first-round graded wide receivers, and I've got 9 total in this grouping. So let's just dive right in, right? At number 1 sits Jordan Tyson from Arizona State. He was number 2 preseason for me. And I absolutely love him. I think that what he's doing again this year is just playing right off of what he did last year. Last year, he had 75 catches, over 1,000 yards, over 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns to go with it. So far this season, 57 catches, 628 yards, and 8 touchdowns. He's averaging 11 yards per catch, which is down a little bit. But obviously with the Arizona State leaning on him slightly differently than they did last year, his role is slightly different. But that being said, Jordan Tyson, 6'2", 195, I think is the most elite wide receiver out there this season. I think that he is potentially a top 10 draft pick in 2026. And what he is doing for Arizona State, the consistency that he's shown now between the last year and this year, is great. When he came to Arizona State in 2023, he was injured. He only had 3 games, not a single catch. Before that, he played 9 games at Colorado, 22 catches, 470 yards, and 4 touchdowns, but he averaged 21.4 yards per catch. He's not going to replicate that again in college, especially, or in the pros for that matter. But Jordan Tyson, he has the size, he has the playmaking ability, and he has the consistency to put out there on his resume what he can do as well. I love Jordan Tyson. He's wide receiver 1 for me. At number 2, I have Makai Lemon from USC. He was a little further down. I had him at 5 in the preseason. But so far this year, 48 catches, 758 yards, 6 touchdowns, which are all better than last season's total stats in 12 games. He is averaging 15.8 yards per catch, which are the most he has averaged in his college career as well. Makai Lemon sits at 5'11", 195. You'd like to see him over that 6-foot mark, but at the end of the day, at least I don't care. You know, he's not 5'7", so 5'11" is right up there in that JSN range and those kinds of receivers ranges. I like it. I like what he's doing this season at USC. In that offense, it's definitely getting him prepared for the NFL flow of things as well. So I like it. Makai Lemon, number 2. Number 3, Carnell Tate. Last year, I had Emeka Egbuka as wide receiver 1 on my list. Carnell Tate coming into this season, I actually had him down at number 3, and that's where he still sits, number 3. He's 6'3", 191. So far this season, 34 catches, 587 yards, 6 touchdowns, and a whopping 17.3 yards per reception right now for Carnell Tate. Listen, Ohio State has been putting out receivers every year, and all of them work in the NFL. Why will Carnell Tate be any different? I don't think that he will. Great receiver. Not all the attention is on him because of the super sophomore, but Tate's been amazing, and he comes in at number 3 for me. Number 4 is Denzel Boston out of Washington. This is fourth year at Washington. So far this season, 44 catches, 668 yards, and 7 touchdowns, and he's averaging 15.2 yards per reception, highest of his career as well. Everything else is adding right up, just like last season. He had 9 touchdowns last year total. He's at 7 already this season. Washington continues to be a really good football team, producing a whole lot of talent, and Denzel Boston falls right into that at number 4. Number 5 is Chris Brazzell from Tennessee. He is at 43 catches, 740 yards, and 8 touchdowns, averaging 17.2 yards per reception. At 6'5", 200 pounds, Chris Brazzell, the second, is rising up draft boards. He was not in the top 10 going into the preseason on anyone's list. A lot of that came back to the concern of the offense. How was Joey Aguilar going to do? Were the receivers going to have the opportunities? Well, my goodness, they sure have. And Chris Brazzell has been very, very good. He is bolstered into number 5 on my list for wide receiver big boards at this moment. At number 6 is KC Concepcion from Texas A&M. And again, another 5'11 guy, 190. Came over from NC State to Texas A&M this year, and he's looking great. 36 catches, 545 yards, 7 touchdowns, averaging 15.1 yards per reception. He is putting up the numbers. He is winning football games, and he is a big reason why. He gives a lot more than just playing receiver. He's in the return game as well. But I love KC Concepcion there at number 6, and this is kind of where I get now to the question mark of, okay, are we going to have 5 receivers in the first round? Are we going to have 6? Are we going to have 7? We have the talent that's there, but we've seen this kind of get pushed back a little bit, and there are not as many teams desperately in need of a wide receiver this year. So I'm not sure that we're going to have 3 or 4 maybe receivers in the first round. We'll get into that more when we start our mock drafts as well. But Concepcion is an elite talent, and I think that when we get into the off season and we get into all the drills and all these kinds of things, he could be a guy that really rises from that. But at 5'11", it's not a big deal, but it is an issue to a degree, and people are going to be afraid to some degree. It's really weird how the NFL does this. We have so many examples of guys at 5'11" that are successful, yet they like to see him over that 6 foot mark. Concepcion is not, and so we'll see. And maybe he will measure. You never know, right? He could grow. And so, anyways, Concepcion at number 6 on my list. Number 7, Elijah Sarratt from Indiana. I came into this season just all over Indiana players. There's several of them that have been amazing this season, and Sarratt has been very, very good again for Indiana. 6'2", 209. So far this year, 45 catches, 609 yards, 10 touchdowns. He's averaging 13.5 yards per catch, which is the lowest of his career. But I don't think that says a whole lot about him. Again, it's how he's being used this year. Elijah Sarratt has been dependable. Mendoza loves him. He works great in this offense. Last season, 8 touchdowns. In his season at JMU, 8 touchdowns as well in 13 games. Already have 10. He's just continuing to grow in these levels as well. So I've got him at number 7 here in my rankings. Then Deon Burks comes up next at Oklahoma. And Deon Burks is a little bit of a we know what he is, and he's not necessarily lived up to where we think he can be. But also, this is the 5'9" guy, 5'9", 187. And all of the guys that I have on my list that I'm looking through, there's only one player other than Deon Burks in the same category, and it's Aaron Anderson at LSU, who stands at 5'8". So Burks at 5'9", he's going to have to find that role. He's a dynamic athlete. This season, 36 catches, 390 yards, 2 touchdowns, 10.8 yards per reception. But again, this is a guy that I think is going to measure just off the charts here in the offseason. And, his career stats have not been where you'd love to see him necessarily, but he hasn't always played in great offenses. Last year, he only got 5 games, and in those 5 games, 31 catches, 245 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So his athleticism, his talent is going to translate in the offseason, and I think we'll see him stick around up there as well. I've got him there at number 8. Number 9 is Chris Bell, the senior out of Louisville. He's 6'2", 220, another big-bodied guy. 48 catches, 687 yards, 6 touchdowns, averaging 14.3 yards per reception. And I just had a door randomly open. Hello, sports ghosts. So nonetheless, there is number 9 on my list, Chris Bell. And I think then you get into the guys that were talked about, mentioned at the beginning of the episode. Antonio Williams out of Clemson, Eric Singleton out of Auburn needs to be in this conversation. Zachariah Branch in Georgia needs to be in this conversation. Nick Harbor is an intriguing one we'll talk about in future episodes. Massive kid, 6'5", 236. We'll talk about him more. Another guy that could definitely rise up the draft boards. Nick Anderson at LSU, the transfer from Oklahoma, is another guy. There's so many names at wide receiver, and in these episodes, we're working shorter and not longer, not going into great depth on these things, just presenting the board as it currently sits. So my current wide receiver board, Jordan Tyson, number 1, Makai Lemon, number 2, Carnell Tate, number 3, Denzel Boston, number 4, Chris Brazzell from Tennessee at number 5, KC Concepcion at 6, Elijah Sarratt at 7, Deon Burks at 8, and Chris Bell at 9. Make sure that you give your comments on these wide receivers. What are your thoughts? Is there one that you really love? Is there one that you really hate, like one that you just don't think is worth even talking about in this discussion? Would be happy to hear that as well. A reminder, these episodes are presented by Righteous Felon Jerky. Join the flavor revolution at righteousfelon.com. Use the promo code STOVE15. You're going to get 15% off your purchase each and every time. You need to follow us on social media at Sports Stove or on Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you check us out there. Lots of things going out, especially football related. Every Thursday, we go live to talk the NFL and college football on the Sports Stove Football Show. You can catch that on the Sports Stove Facebook page, the Belly Up Sports Facebook page, the Belly Up Sports YouTube, and the Sports Stove Football Show podcast. These draft episodes are exclusively on video on the Sports Stove YouTube channel. So you go to the Sports Stove YouTube, subscribe to the channel, give us a like, all that good stuff. If you prefer the audio version, well, you find that on the podcast. The Sports Stove Football Show podcast is where all these episodes are listed along with our normal Thursday show as well. So make sure you check us out at all those places too. So we've got most of the offense covered. We still got to get to the interior offensive line, and then we'll transition to the defensive position groups as well. If you missed any of our past episodes, make sure you go check them out on the Sports Stove YouTube channel. And we'll be back very soon. We got several episodes this week. We'll have several more next week. And we'll be looking at our mock draft very soon, too. So make sure you stay tuned for that as well. All right, special edition of the Sports Stove Football Show with the Sports Stove Draft Show. Thanks again to Righteous Felon, and thank you for tuning into this episode. We'll see you again real soon.